1. Observer consciousness. This is the part of the self that watches. It's often associated with mindfulness or awareness. In meditation or self-reflection, it's the witness behind your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Not reactive, just observant. Some relate it to the soul or higher self. Example, you notice you're getting angry. Instead of reacting, you observe the anger. That's the observer in action. 2. Conscious intent. This is what you're actively aware of wanting or doing. Linked to willpower and deliberate action. Comes from thought, reasoning, and choice. Example, you decide to work out or say something kind to someone. 3. Unconscious intent. This is trickier, what you don't know you're intending. Hidden motives, fears, trauma responses. Often drives behavior without awareness. Example, you sabotage a relationship because deep down you fear intimacy, even if consciously you want love. How they interact. The observer can become aware of unconscious intent and bring it to consciousness. Conscious intent can be overridden by unconscious drives. Growth often involves using the observer to bridge the gap, recognizing patterns and shifting unconscious programs. 1. Observer consciousness, psychological perspective. In psychology, this is often referred to as metacognition, thinking about your own thinking. It's the mental ability to observe your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors as if from the outside. It plays a major role in emotional regulation, self-awareness, and behavioral change. Therapies that use this. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, helps you identify thoughts, behaviors, and challenge them. Mindfulness-based therapies train the observer to notice experiences non-judgmentally. ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, focuses on observing thoughts without getting entangled in them. 2. Conscious intent. This refers to goal-directed behavior you're aware of. It's tied to your executive function, the part of the brain, mostly prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning, decision-making, and intentional action. You set a goal and act toward it. I want to lose weight, I want to study for this test. But here's the twist, being aware doesn't guarantee control. Your intentions can be clear, yet your behavior might still go in the opposite direction. 3. Unconscious intent. This is where psychoanalysis and modern psychodynamics step in. Freud introduced the idea that unconscious drives, often shaped by childhood, influence behavior. Later psychologists like Jung, Adler, and modern theorists expanded it to include hidden fears, learned defense mechanisms, implicit memory and conditioning, social scripts you don't even realize you're following. Example, you consciously want success but unconsciously fear being seen, so you procrastinate or underperform. Modern neuroscience also shows how much of our behavior is governed by automatic systems, patterns encoded by repeated emotional experiences, like trauma, and your brain just follows those tracks without needing your conscious permission. Why this matters? Many inner conflicts come from a misalignment between conscious and unconscious intent. Therapy and introspection aim to bring unconscious motives into conscious awareness, so the observer can intervene and redirect them. Psychologically, it's about improving metacognitive awareness and emotional differentiation. Here, how to do it step by step. How to strengthen the observer. 1. Practice mindful noticing, not controlling. Instead of trying to fix or suppress your thoughts, emotions, start by just noticing them. Exercise. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Sit still and notice your thoughts like clouds passing by. Label them without judgment, thinking, worrying, planning, judging. Why it works. Labeling activates the prefrontal cortex and calms the limbic system, the emotional brain. 2. Journaling with dual awareness. When journaling, split your entries into 2 parts. What I'm experiencing, feelings, thoughts, behaviors. What I notice about that experience, patterns, tone, reactions. Example, I lashed out at my partner. What I notice, I tend to do this when I feel ignored. It's not about them, it's me reacting to feeling invisible. This builds the observer muscle over time. 3. Use the name it to tame it trick. Coined by Dan Siegel, this strategy is about naming your inner experience out loud or in your head. Examples, I'm feeling angry right now. I notice I'm anxious and scanning for danger. While it works, it shifts brain activity from the reactive limbic system to the reflective prefrontal cortex. 4. Pause practice. This one's simple but powerful. Before reacting, take a 3-second pause. In the pause, ask, what am I feeling right now? What's really driving this? You create space between stimulus and response, which is where your observer can step in and interrupt unconscious patterns. 5. Track patterns. Start noticing recurring themes in your behavior, especially under stress. When do you go on autopilot? What emotional states led to impulsive decisions? What stories do you tell yourself when you feel unsafe? This is meta-awareness. The more you spot, the more conscious influence you regain. 6. Inner dialogue work. Create internal conversations between parts of yourself. The child, emotional, reactive. The adult, rational, present. The observer, curious, non-judgmental. Write it out. Child, I feel abandoned. Adult, it's okay, we're safe now. Observer, interesting, this reaction happens when we're ignored. 7. Therapy or guided reflection. Working with a therapist helps externalize and reflect patterns you may miss. Approaches like internal family systems, IFS, ACT, or mindfulness-based CBT are great for building the observer. Over time, the observer becomes quicker to show up in emotional moments, better at spotting unconscious motives, a source of calm, clarity, and conscious decision-making.